Ever found yourself looking at a menu, maybe somewhere new, and thinking, okay, what am I actually about to order here?
Oh, definitely. Or maybe you get asked something simple like how many in your party, and it just, throws you for a second.
Exactly. If that sounds familiar, well, you're in the right place. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the, let's say, wonderfully varied world of dining out.
That's right. Because whether it's like a super fancy place for a special occasion or just grabbing some fast food,
Right.
navigating it, especially in English, has its own kind of language, its own rules, unwritten rules often.
So the insights we're using today come from, well, a mix of things. Real chats, guides, demos.
Yeah, basically trying to give you a shortcut to really getting the hang of eating out.
Our mission for you today, to unpack the key words, the etiquette stuff, those little bits of knowledge that just made the whole thing smoother, more enjoyable.
Maybe even feel a bit more confident doing it.
Let's jump in.
Okay.
So first off, restaurants. That word covers a lot of ground, doesn't it?
It really does. It's a whole spectrum, you know? Each type is kind of designed for a different vibe, a different need.
Okay, so break that down. One of the main types we should know.
Well, at the top end, you've got fine dining. Think fancy, really polished.
Like suit and tie fancy?
Often, yeah. Or, elegant dresses, smart evening wear. The food's usually more elaborate. The service is very attentive. It's an experience.
Got it. And
Then you've got casual dining, still sit down, still table service, but much more relaxed.
so jeans are probably okay.
Usually, yeah. The food might be simpler. The atmosphere is just easier,
Yeah,
less formal.
makes sense. And then the obvious one.
Fast food. All about speed, convenience, getting food quickly, and usually pretty affordably.
Right. Any others that fit in between?
Sure, you might see bistro mentioned. That's often simpler, maybe regional food, good prices, kind of cozy.
Hmm.
Or a cafe. Starts with coffee, pastries, but often does light meals too. Sandwiches, salads. Good for a relaxed, quick stop.
So knowing the type kind of sets your expectations for everything else.
Yeah. Exactly. Menu, price, dress code, even noise level.
Okay, so you've picked your place. You walk in. What happens first?
Usually you'll be greeted by the host or hostess. They're often at a little desk or stand near the entrance, the host stand.
Their job is basically welcome and seat you.
Pretty much. Welcome you, check if you have a reservation, figure out your table.
Reservations. Key for popular spots, right?
Yeah.
To avoid waiting.
Definitely. It means you've booked a table ahead of time. You'd say something like, "Hi, I have a reservation for 2 at 7 p.m. under Smith."
So you just give the name and time.
Yep, it guarantees your spot, especially on busy Friday nights or holidays.
And if you don't have one, just winging it.
No problem. Happens all the time. You just ask, do you have a table available? Or maybe a table for 2, please?
And that's when they ask,
How many in your party?
which just means how many people are eating.
Exactly. Party just means your group size. They need that to find the right table.
Okay, that initial part seems pretty straightforward once you know the terms.
Yeah, it helps make that first impression smooth.
All right, so you're seated. Maybe you got that nice booth by the window. What's next? The menu.
The heart of it all. And menus themselves can look different now.
Right, not always the big physical book.
No, sometimes it's a QR code you scan with your phone, pulls up the menu digitally.
But the layout's usually similar.
Generally, yeah. You'll see sections like appetizers. Those are the starters.
Things you eat before the main course.
Exactly. Then entrees, which are the main dishes. Then usually desserts. And of course, beverages, drinks.
Beverages can be anything from water to...
Soda, cocktails, wine, beer, you name it. Understanding those sections helps you navigate.
So you're looking at the menu and then someone comes over. The server.
Right, your waiter or waitress. They'll usually introduce themselves. Hi, I'm Gwen. I'll be your server tonight. Something like that.
And their first question is almost always about drink.
Almost always. Can I get you started with something to drink? It gives you a moment to settle in, too.
Good point. Water, lemonade, maybe something stronger.
Whatever you like. Then, after they bring the drinks, they'll usually check back.
To see if you're ready to order food.
Yep. Are we ready to order? Or have you decided?
And it's okay to say no, right?
Yeah.
If you need more time.
Absolutely. Just say, I think we need another minute or just a little more time, please. Totally fine. No rush.
Okay, crunch time, ordering the food. How do you phrase it? Yeah, don't want to sound rude.
Well, there are a few polite ways. More formally, you could say, I would like the salmon, please, or may I have the chicken?
Oh,
But more casually and perfectly common is, I'll have the pasta, or can I get the burger?
I'll have it.
Seems pretty standard.
Very standard. I'd like was good
Hey,
too.
what if you're stuck? Can't decide.
Ask for help. What do you recommend is a great question. Or even, what's your favorite thing on the menu?
Yeah,
Servers often know what's popular or particularly good.
good tip. Now, sometimes there are follow-up questions, right? Like with steak.
Yes. Steak doneness. They'll definitely ask how you want it cooked.
And the options are, it's a scale. Rare is very red, cool center. Medium rare is red, warm center. Medium is pink, hot center. Medium well is just a little bit of pink. And well done is cooked all the way through. No pink.
So you'd say, I'd like my steak medium well.
Exactly. You need to specify.
What about other important details? Allergies.
Crucial. If you have a food allergy, like to nuts, shellfish, gluten, whatever, you must tell your server. It's a safety issue.
Right. They need to make sure the kitchen prepares it safely.
Absolutely. And similarly, if you have dietary preferences, like vegetarian meaning no meat,
Or vegan.
right, vegan means no meat and no animal products at all. So no dairy, no eggs, sometimes no honey. Be clear about those two.
Good point. And don't forget the sides.
Yes. Sometimes they come with the entree. Sometimes you order them separately. Can I get a side of mashed potatoes, please?
And you can sometimes control the timing, like asking for appetizers first.
You can. You could say, could we get the appetizers first? Or sometimes people want everything together. Can we have it all come out at once?
Little details, but they make a difference to the meal.
They really do. Communication is key.
Okay, orders in, food's coming. What about the stuff on the table and what happens during the meal?
Right, the setting. You might have a tablecloth. You'll definitely have a napkin.
Which goes on your lap usually.
Generally, yes. Keeps you tidy. Then your silverware or utensils.
Fork, knife, spoon. Is there a difference between silverware and utensils?
Technically, silverware implies it's made of silver, but people use it more broadly now. Utensils is the safer, more general term for anything you eat with metal, plastic, whatever.
Got it. And maybe a wine glass, even for water.
Yep, pretty common in sit-down places.
Okay, food arrives. What if you need something during the meal? How do you get the server's attention?
A polite small wave usually works. Catch their eye and say, "Excuse me," or "Excuse me, sir," or "Ma'am."
Not like snapping fingers.
Oh, definitely not. That's considered quite rude. Just a polite, "Excuse me."
And when the food comes, it's okay to react, right?
Yeah,
Say it looks good.
of course. "Oh, that smells wonderful. This looks delicious." Or commenting on the taste, "Yummy. This is excellent. It's very spicy, nice sweet flavor, all perfectly normal."
What about asking for things at the table? Like the salt
Simple politeness works. "Could you please pass the salt?"
and refills if your water glass is empty.
Just ask. "Could I get a refill of water, please?" Easy.
You mentioned free refills earlier, often for soft drinks.
Yeah, especially in casual dining and fast food in the US, they might say free refills for dine-in customers, meaning if you're eating there, you just take your cup back up, usually.
Good perk.
Yeah.
Now, what if you can't finish everything? Big portions sometimes.
Happens all the time. Just ask your server for a box or a to-go box.
To take the rest home.
Yep. That food you take home is called leftovers.
Yeah.
Ready for lunch tomorrow.
Huh, excellent. Okay, meal's done. Time for the less fun part, paying.
The bill or the check. Same thing. You usually need to ask for it.
How do you ask?
"Can we get the check, please?" Or just catching the server's eye and maybe making a little writing motion in the air can work too. Or they might ask you, "Are you ready for the check?"
And paying usually card or cash.
Yep. Credit card and cash are standard. Mobile payments like Apple Pay are getting more common too.
What if you're out with friends and want to pay separately?
Splitting the bill. Very common. Just ask the server when they bring the check. Or even before, "Excuse me, could we split the check?"
And they can usually divide it evenly, or sometimes by what each person ordered.
Often they can do either, especially with modern systems. If it's, say, a $50 bill for 2 people, splitting it just means $25 each.
And always okay to ask for a receipt.
Absolutely, for your record.
And that's your tip. This is a big one, culturally, especially in the U.S.
Huge. It's really important to understand. In the U.S., servers' base wages are often quite low, and they rely heavily on tips for their actual income.
So it's not just a little extra, it's expected.
It's very much expected. It's considered part of the cost of the service you received.
And the standard amount is?
Generally, at least 20% of the pre-tax bill is considered standard now for decent service. Some people tip more for excellent service.
And even if the food wasn't your favorite?
You still tip the server for their service. The tip reflects their work, bringing drinks, taking orders, checking on you. Not tipping, or tipping very little, is seen as quite rude.
How do you leave it? Cash? Card?
Either works. If paying by card, there's usually a line on the receipt to add the tip amount and then write the new total, or you can just leave cash on the table.
Okay, that's really crucial context for dining in the U.S.
Definitely. It's a major difference compared to many other countries.
So we've talked about the host and server, but there are other people working there too, right? Behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, a whole team. If there's a bar, you have the bartender making the drinks.
And sometimes someone helping them.
Right, a bar back. They restock, clean glasses, help the bartender out, keeps things flowing.
And in the kitchen.
That's the domain of the chef. You might have a head chef in charge, maybe a sous chef as second in command, and other cooks.
Who actually brings the food from the kitchen? Is it always the server?
Not always. Sometimes there's a dedicated food runner whose main job is just bringing the plated dishes out to the tables quickly.
Makes sense. And the people clearing the tables.
That's the busboy, or busgirl, sometimes called a busser. They clear dirty dishes, wipe tables, reset them for the next guests.
So many roles working together. What about different areas in a restaurant?
Well, you've got the main dining area where everyone eats. You'll have restrooms, usually marked gents or men, and ladies or women.
And sometimes outdoor seating?
Yes, the patio. Really nice when the weather's good. A popular choice.
Okay, let's switch gears slightly. Fast food, it's dining out, but different.
Very different rhythm, different process. Ordering is key.
You've got the drive-through, right? Ordering from your car.
Yep, you talk into a speaker box, then usually drive to one window to pay and another window to pick up your food.
Or you can go inside.
Right, order at the counter from an employee. Or increasingly, you use a computerized touchscreen kiosk to place your own order.
Those kiosks with pictures of the food.
Exactly. And many chains have mobile apps now, too, for ordering ahead.
Fast food menus have their own lingo, too. Combos.
Yeah, sets or combos usually means a main item, like a burger or chicken nuggets, plus fries and a drink, all bundled for one price.
Saves having to order everything separately.
Right. And inside, there's usually that refreshment area.
Where you get your own drinks if you're eating in.
Often, yeah, especially for those free refills. Plus, straws, lids, different sizes for different cups, napkins, sugar, salt, pepper, maybe creamer for coffee. Self-serve stuff.
And you mentioned something interesting, people eating in their cars.
Oh, yeah, it's super common, especially in the U.S. People grab their fast food and just park somewhere nearby and eat it in the car, quick and easy.
Okay.
Mm.
Wow, we've actually covered a ton of ground there.
We really have. From like the fanciest places down to grabbing a burger in your car.
So, thinking back on all this, from making reservations, figuring out menus, how to order politely,
Dealing with allergies, steak doneness, sides.
handling the check, the whole tipping culture in the U.S., all the staff roles.
And even the specifics of fast food. You really should feel, well, much more equipped now.
Yeah, hopefully you have the language and kind of the cultural roadmap for a lot of different dining situations.
You can tell the difference between a bistro and fine dining. You know what to expect.
But it makes you think, doesn't it? These everyday things like eating out, they seem universal.
But the specifics, the little rules, the way people interact can be subtly different everywhere, even between English-speaking countries sometimes.
Right. Which leads to a kind of provocative thought for you, our listener, to maybe chew on.
Chew on. Nice one.
What other everyday interactions, things that seem totally simple on the surface, might have their own hidden rules, their own special vocabulary or social cues that we just take for granted?
That's interesting, like maybe shopping or using public transport or even just making small talk.
Exactly. So we definitely encourage you to use what we talked about on your next dining adventure. See how it feels.
And maybe, just maybe, start noticing those unwritten scripts in other parts of your day, too. You might be surprised what you find.